everybody. So today we're going to be doing another magazine flip through, and I have a new magazine that I've never read before, any of them in this series. It is the Neo magazine, and I picked this one up at my local Barnes & Noble because I've been trying to find some interesting magazines, and I've been finding, I think it's because of how things are in the world, that a lot of the usual fitness and lifestyle and fashion magazines seem to not look as exciting. But these anime and manga, cartoon and cosplay sort of magazines seem to be looking as exciting as ever. As you can see down here, this was printed in the UK, and it was $10.99. So I think the prices of magazines have gone up, but this is honestly almost as thick as a book, so that's no bother to me. And the artwork on the front makes me kind of want to collect them. So the features of this issue: 75 titles, and our biggest preview ever, with anime, Asian film, manga, something that she's blocking, and music. On the little side title here, it says Anohana, Flowers. We Saw That Day. That's something that I did watch. Mulan, I bet they're covering the live action. Throwdown, Zombieland Saga, Parasite, Samurai Marathon, Posters, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Gundam, and Sonic the Hedgehog. The big feature, it looks like, is Penguin Highway. They have all these adorable little penguins on the front here. Since I'm currently watching a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender, this reminds me of penguin sledding. So let's see what we have on the inside here. I'm going to move these little things to the side. This is a pretty big magazine. We have Wonder Woman over here keeping us company. A little candle here because I liked the color. We have our little Pokemon Galarian starters figure, just for some added company. So this says, relive the Dragon Ball Z saga with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Looks like this is a video game. It is slated to come out on the 17th of January, 2020. And it's coming out across platforms, it looks like. An Xbox One release, PS4, and for the PC as well. We have Goku here. Looks like he's ready for action as always. The general table of contents. More of those adorable little penguins here. I really like the close-up on that little one. It does look like they're almost penguin sledding. Looks like they have a cosplay feature. This girl appears to be cosplaying Nightwing based off the domino mask. And it looks like she has the Eskrima sticks. It's pretty cool. Features 2020 anime preview. Movies for the new year. 96 is the cosplay corner. We have J Life and Lifestyle. Artist showcase. Staff. So just a bunch going on here. Seeing that there's 96 pages is kind of crazy for a magazine. And a general welcome here. This is fitting. I can't believe they're on issue 195, it says. Looks like I'll have quite a lot of catching up to do. Do a little segment of Meet the Team, it looks like. So you can get to know all of the folks that have been working on the magazine. Advertisement for Initial D. All 3 movies in one ultimate road rage collection. And Devil's Line. Is it love or bloodlust? Certainly a fatal attraction. All coming out in January, at least, as far as this issue is concerned. Looks like we have an advertisement for. This is 2020 Sword Art Online. And I always tend to pronounce this wrong, I think. Alicization. Or is it Alicization? I'm not super familiar with the Sword Art Online series. I really only watched the original seasons of it. But I've heard that this is pretty good. And I've been seeing it a lot of different places, so I might have to give it a shot. Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 is coming out. These folks look like they've taken quite a bit of damage here, but that's to be expected when you're fighting Titans. We have Anohana, Flowers We Saw That Day. This is a truly beautiful anime. I watched it in the course of probably about 2 days because I was just that hooked on it. And it's incredibly kind of heart-wrenching, but in a good way. They do a very good job of characterizing each of these characters and letting you see what their motivations are and how their friendships tie into each other and how they grew up and what influenced them. And I think it's a pretty good look at loss and how folks deal with it in different ways. I won't spoil the whole anime, but it's kind of about how characters handle losing a dear friend and how they help each other to handle that loss and to grow in spite of the loss. Have Bartender. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. And Love Live Sunshine Season 2. Let's see. Be the Beginning. is one that I've watched and enjoyed. Out of the rest of these, I really haven't seen many of them. Although I do think Zombie Land Saga looks pretty interesting. I really haven't watched many of the idol kind of shows, but the twist of each of these girls being zombies, or at least I believe they're all zombies, is a pretty neat one. I think that enables them to get up to some pretty crazy hijinks. And I think the character designs are pretty unique and cute. We have Plastic Memories. This is a humans and androids drama with some comparisons to Time of Eve. I like the art style on that. Looks pretty crisp. This fellow definitely has the art style of a fairly generic protagonist. I feel like they have the same haircut. I bet it would be a plot twist if he wasn't the main character. Have Devils Line and Kizu Monogatari Nikatsu. That looks like a really pretty art style. You wouldn't believe how many anime I get into just because I like the art style. We have, I don't know if this is supposed to be O or 0. Maidens in Your Savage Season. I've heard that this one is pretty good. If you like kind of like a slice of life high school that handles all of the kind of issues and hijinks and humorous parts of growing up. This one I think was highlighted by both The Mother's Basement and Giguk, and they said they recommended it for the humor. Tokyo Ghoul R.E. I watched the original Tokyo Ghoul and I did enjoy it. I haven't looked into this quite yet, but I have some friends that really enjoy the Tokyo Ghoul series, so I might have to get into it so that I can stay on the same page as them. That's a bit creepy. Have Berserk with a big full art page of guts here. Now, I'm someone who really enjoyed the Berserk, I believe it was the Holy War arc. It was basically, I think, 3 long kind of movie-length episodes that they had on Netflix for quite a while, and it might still be there. I've read the manga up until the latest chapter, I believe, and I have watched some of Berserk 2017, which I know certainly has got some mixed reviews. I would say it's definitely not the best use of CG, and some of the sound effects are off. I know he's kind of notorious for having this huge sword, and in the 2017 anime adaptation, it sounds like he's hitting folks with a frying pan. It's just a bit off, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure. I've still managed to enjoy it, even with the imperfect adaptation. I just found the story interesting. We have Gundam Origin Collection, Tamako Market, really cute art style here, and Code Geass. Surprisingly enough, I haven't watched this series, and I hear it's one of the classics. A lot of my friends have really given high praise, so that's going to be another anime I have to add to my ever-growing list of must-watches. I swear. I think when I'm older, I'll look forward to retirement, simply so that I can catch up on all of the cool video games and anime that I didn't either prioritize properly or have time for. Have Penguin Highway, which I'm already intrigued from the front cover with all those adorable little penguins. I'm almost getting Pokemon trainer vibes from these folks, especially with this gal's hat. And this boy almost looks like a younger Ash Ketchum. She kind of reminds me of Green with the hat here. I guess this folks is almost like Max from the third generation, May's younger brother. We have Code Geass, Film 3, Glorification. Now this is an interesting title. I want to eat your pancreas. What an interesting one. I think, if I'm remembering this properly, this is about a love story where one of the characters has a serious illness. Let me see. Yes, it looks like one of them has a terminal medical condition. And part of the basis of the relationship is that this fellow here, per this little blurb, doesn't treat her differently because of it. And that's something unique. Or she's probably used to being treated as something fragile or an outcast because of the condition. Now that looks like something I'd have to watch if I wanted to have a good cry or feel some deep emotions, because sometimes you just need an anime that'll do that for you. I know I watched, I think most recently March Comes In Like a Lion, and that did that to me as well. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust, Crusaders. Now, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is something I know pretty much only through memes, and not through actually watching it. I believe that's on Netflix as well. So once I finish the third season of Baki the Grappler that's on Netflix right now, I'm going to have to go back and see this so that I can kind of get to know it and appreciate it more than the occasional meme that is shared or the reference. We have Hellsing Ultimate, Volumes 9 through 10 collection. Looks like that's through Manga Entertainment. Violet Evergarden. Very nice artwork here. kind of wish they'd almost made that a poster insert. I just love the town in the background. And it looks like she's overlooking a harbor, which is very pretty. The Sega Mega Drive Mini. 42 legendary games. One iconic mini console. Nostalgia has never been so much fun. That's quite the little package here. Now I remember I used to have the Sega Game Gear, and that bad boy ate through batteries like it was its job, but it was very fun to play. This looks like a TV console, most similar to the Super Nintendo. Pretty snazzy. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl. This is one that I started. I only got like an episode or two in, so I think I do need to give it another shot. It just didn't grab me right off the start. But this might be a slow burn kind of deal. Saga of Tanya the Evil, the complete series. I hear that this, at least from what I can gather, is an anime about a full-grown fellow that is reincarnated into the body of a small girl in the middle of some sort of war. I'm not sure if it's World War II or if it's an imaginary war. But I think that's an interesting premise. Review Starlight. I hear this is similar to an idol show, but with the twist. If the girls do more than perform. Looks like part of the performance is fighting or fencing choreography. Full Metal Panic. Invisible. Victory. I do like the design of the robot. It's pretty snazzy. We have Bloom Into You, which I hear is a romance anime. I have Anonymous Noise, which I haven't heard anything about, surprisingly. And we have The Rising of the Shield Hero, Season 1, Part 1, as advertised in this magazine. I believe they're on Season 2 by now. I haven't watched this quite yet, although I hear it's quite popular and has pretty good reviews for kind of subverting the main character being the highly skilled defensive trope, and he is 100% defensive, so it allows some of the other characters to shine. And I know that they did a crossover with, I think that was ReZero that did a crossover with a video game I play. This steed looks pretty familiar. Kind of ostrichy dragon looking fellow. I used to, and still do on occasion, play a online MMO. I believe it's I don't think it's a JRPG. I think it's a Korean game named Mabinogi. Please forgive me if I mess that up. But I used to play it in high school, and I still occasionally visit it if they have an event or crossover I'm interested in. And at one point they did a ReZero crossover with a similar rideable mount. We have SS Gridman, the complete series. Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, Lost Butterfly, Samurai Champloo. I remember watching this. It's really good fun. I do love the dynamic between these two fellows. And the girl is really funny. She's kind of subverts the trope of the girly love interest because she's pretty brash and acts pretty young for her age. So it's cute. His whole style is about precision. He's a quiet fellow. And this fellow's whole style is brazen and brash. And they're pretty evenly matched. So, fix these little fellows here. I have Mobile Suit Gundam, Wing, Endless Waltz. Now the Gundam series is something I haven't gotten into because I don't really know where to start. If anybody has any suggestions, if you're knowledgeable about Gundam, as to where a good starting place would be for someone, I would be interested to try it out. The BFI celebrates Japan. 5 months of screenings and more. Some big plans in store for Japanese cinema in 2020. I remember when a lot of these movies were coming out to local theaters, local small theaters. It was a really big deal. A handful of our kind of more small, more art-focused theaters did some showings. They also did some showings of Your Name when it came out, which was pretty exciting. And then Pokemon, I think I Choose You, had a limited release even in Vermont, where I live. So pretty exciting to see something a little more niche makes it out even as far as here. General release schedule. Looks like this is information on top 10 music stories hitting the UK. We have an artist called Love Bites. I do like their coordinated uniforms here. We have, now this is a clever title, Band Maid instead of Band-Aid. And they all are wearing maid attire. I'm not too familiar with K-pop and J-pop. I do listen to a couple artists like EXO or BTS, but I'm still discovering that music genre. Now that is one heck of an album artwork. Band Made from GPU Records. That's pretty snazzy. Looks like we have a full feature on Zombieland Saga. This is a good-natured, kind-hearted series with funny nods to horror cinema. There's a zombie dog called Romero, after the zombie director, but it's near last month's fruit basket. It's interesting to know that they have some shout-outs to horror cinema. I might have to watch it just to see if I can pick up on the references. Arcade. Fire. Now this looks like fun. Jonathan comments on another sign of changing times. Says these days there are only 4,000 registered arcades in Japan, along with another 9,000 sites too small to count, having less than 50 machines. So they must have a higher standard of what counts as an arcade. Because, I don't know if that's universal, but out here we have, at one time I went to a local kind of barcade, and I think their cabinets couldn't have been more than maybe 20. But I suppose there's a much different population concentration, so you would need more arcade cabinets to allow for proper play. We have One Punch Man. Every time I see artwork in the title, I hear the intro music from the first season in my mind. A hero nobody knows. It looks like they're releasing a video game across platforms for that. I have a manga snapshot. Not sure if it's ribbon or rebone. It's like a classic girls manga magazine. Very cute. Kind of bright and flowery design here. Some additional manga panels. It says, meanwhile, Ribbon continues to pretend it's the 1990s, printing on cheap recycled paper and draft quality inks, and offering its reader multiple angles on training wheels romance, and good-hearted attempts to warn, inform, and otherwise charm its readers with suggestions of what life might be like in the undiscovered country of coupledom. So it looks like it's using romance manga to try to teach some lessons about love. I have anime expose on Babylon. This is a very, very good anime. It's definitely more of a PG-13 to potentially an R rating. It really has to do with the topic of death and the morality around that. And there's a bit of a supernatural element to it. It's kind of on that like fringe science sort of supernatural, where it's not completely out there, but it makes you wonder. Very, very good. Anime. It features, this is the main character, he's like an absolute straight shooter, detective, cop sort of fellow that joined the force with the intentions of serving justice. He has a very black and white attitude of what is good and what is bad. And throughout the anime, you see how that attitude gets tested and it starts to change and waver at different points. Very, very good anime. Kind of reminded me of like a Psychopass. Speaking of which, Psychopass 3, Evolving Dystopia. Now, I only saw the original, I guess, first season or first iteration of Psychopass. But knowing that they've continued it makes me want to go back and watch these next seasons or continuations. I do really like the art style. I have a record of Grand Crest War, Part 1. And a main masterpiece here. Looks like I could cut this out and hang it up or frame it if I really wanted to. Look at all these little adorable penguins. So cute. It looks like, judging by, originally I thought they were swimming, but it looks like they're out in the sky. A full 2-page artwork here of Anohana, the flower we saw that day. And as you can see, they have what they looked like as children down here. And their adult selves up here. It plays a pretty big part, the flashbacks to their childhood interactions. And a certain day that was very important for all of these characters. Oh, looks like we lost him. Sorry if that was a bit loud. This is, I know, not Death Parade, but just the bartender gave me vibes of that. Tokyo Ghoul. So it looks like they give you artworks of each mainly featured anime. Looks like in the next issue there will be the Neo Awards 2019. I did actually pick up both this issue and the following issue, so we'll be able to see what the next issue features in an upcoming video. Monogatari Season 2, as well as Garden of Sinners. Looks like they have Blu-ray collections that are out now. Film preview. Looks like they're giving us a little sneak peek at the Mulan adaptation, the live action one that should be coming out in the future. All I want. And I mean, there's certainly no true obligation if they're looking to take this in a different direction. But I really want to see Be a Man, that iconic song, be adapted, at least to some capacity. It's my absolute favorite. I think that's kind of an iconic song of many people's generation. You'd be hard-pressed to begin the verse, "Let's get down to business," and not have someone nearby complete the sentence for you and respond to defeat the Huns. this is a neat little thing, or a neat little feature to give a look at live action movies that are coming out that I honestly never would have known of, unless I either heard one of my favorite actors was in, or it showed up on Netflix, or a friend recommended. Interesting that it looks like they're planning to release Parasite. So this was the award-winning one, I believe, that showed kind of cultural disparities between classes. I should have read it properly. I was thinking they were adapting the anime. I get a kick out of how among all of these movies we have Sonic the Hedgehog just kind of casually skating through here. It's a movie that I haven't seen, as it came out at a unique time, but I do feel kind of obligated to watch it at some point because of how much work went into redoing the character model into something that I personally believe is a better representation of the character. Looks like they're doing some either re-releases or remasters of some classics. Let's see, we have London Comic-Con being advertised. I do wonder if they were able to go through with it. Looks like they have some pretty solid folks here. I recognize this gentleman from John Wick. I have Ian here from Star Wars and Sleepy Hollow. Oh, this is an interesting mix of folks. Got representation from Lord of the Rings, as fellows from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Avengers. Quite a group of folks. Looks like they're advertising some of the music groups that we saw earlier and albums that are coming out. Let's English. Need a New Year's resolution? How about starting a new life teaching in Japan? So this is actually a really interesting looking article that I might have to send to one of my friends. One of my friends in college, he ended up traveling abroad to Japan for, I believe, one of his last semesters. And I believe that is his intention to eventually move to Japan and teach English. And I think that's an absolutely incredible goal. So I'm going to have to read through this and either send him this magazine or send him a link to this article. But he sent a lot of pictures and things over of his experience, and it really looked fascinating. I was really interested in all of the different cultural conventions and how exchange students and things are treated. Gundam 00 Part 2. Surprise, the war fought to end all wars, didn't. This fellow's suit almost looks like Frieza, but that's just me. We have the Wrestle Talk magazine. I know probably about as little as there is to know about wrestling, so I don't know if this will be coming to an ASMR video anytime soon. All I know is The Rock. They're doing a 30th anniversary of Kiki's Delivery Service. It's really crazy to think that that's on 30 years already. Life is Strange too. I know that was a fairly big video game. Looks like they have a manga featured. This might be another subscription that I'd have to take a look at. I guess I'd have to see what the international availability would be, if they would even ship to the US for this. And Neo Artist Showcase, the best in reader talent. Every issue, Neo will be featuring our favorite work from artists inspired by anime, manga, and games. Now this is something I can get behind. That is an absolutely stunning art style. I really love all of the little details. We've got little boba tea here, little cake. Looks like she's ready to draw. The shading is really nice too. Looks like they're featuring an artist from Singapore named Coryllis. Their profession is a webcomic artist. It's a really interesting art style. I do like it with all the colors. Just some general things it looks like they recommend. Some drawing guides. If anyone wanted to eventually be featured for their artist of the issue, they could learn from here. Oh, this is adorable. Godzilla, the Showa era films. As a kid, I was absolutely obsessed with Godzilla. I had action figures of Godzilla. I had a model of Godzilla. I had the N64 game of Godzilla. I watched the movies. I don't know why I loved him so much, but I did. Looks like a very snazzy cosplay corner showcase. We have, this is an Artoria Pendragon altar from Fate Go. Spider-Gwen. I believe this is the Teen Titans, Robin and Starfire. We have a Mera and a Nightwing. Genderbent. That's pretty snazzy. Maybe once convention season rolls around, or when it's able to, if I ever end up hiring a photographer, maybe I would submit something. Although those might have to be from the UK, I'm not sure, since this is a UK-based, or a UK-printed magazine. Akihabara Life. Miu's resident idol talks about the Tokyo region that changed her life. And that is the end of the magazine. So definitely let me know what you guys think, and maybe some suggestions for what kind of magazines you'd be interested in seeing me read through in the future. I am definitely interested in fitness magazines. Style magazines are fun to read through and see what is the new fashion. Even kind of more niche ones, or not niche, but just kind of specific ones like This Old House or Runner's World I do enjoy. So definitely let me know in the comments what some of your favorite magazines are, and I might be able to include them in a future video. So thank you guys for taking the time to stop by and watch, and I hope that you have a good afternoon or morning or night. I'll see you in